All right. Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay?
Sir.
All right, cool.
Hello, sir.
Hey, how you doing? Okay.
Doing good,
Okay,
sir.
guys. Right. So I see most of us are here and we got the message. Okay, welcome, guys. All right. Okay, so I'm Brian Williams. Some of you would have probably be seeing me for the first time. Some of you might be seeing me again, right? Welcome to your computing journey. I'm the CSA computing lead. I currently exist mainly in this virtual world. I remember I was there. I was there when it was a couple of months ago, and some of the students saw me and say, "Sir, you're real. You're like a real person. I thought you were a AI teacher." Because I normally end up teaching online, right? Right. And I think from since COVID, but I've been around UTech for probably for like more than 10 years now. I taught there long before COVID, of course. Actually left UTech and came back because I do love to teach this kind of stuff, and it seems that UTech kind of like me too, so they didn't mind me coming back. I'm coming back fully online, so here I am, guys. I pretty much help to plan and coordinate all of the computer related modules at CSA, right? I love to do this stuff, and I'm pretty much a computer nerd, so they figure that, let the computer nerd deal with the computer courses, right? So you will see me throughout. Even if you don't see me, I'm probably working in the background. One of the objectives that I've had over the many years is to try to make, well, CSA on a whole somewhat doable, completable. I know that it can be kind of a stressful course, but you guys made it to second year, right? So it looks like you guys are hanging in there, right? Usually there is between first and second year, there's that realization like, oh crap, this course is really hard, or this course is not the thing that I thought it would be. You know, that realization normally comes in between first and second year, right?
On the first day, sir.
So the fact that you guys are here on your second round is testament that you are the survivors. You know, like those survival TV shows when every episode somebody drop out, you know what I mean? So you guys have made it to episode 2, which is great. One of the reasons why it's good is because episode 2 is where the fun begins, because then you have me guiding you through for the rest of your computing journey, right? So we're gonna get through some introductions, show you a little bit of the stuff that I do and I love doing, talk a little bit about you guys. Hopefully we have enough time for that. And we're definitely going to talk about the module, right? One of the first things to maybe discuss is going to be the schedule. As you realize, your timetables is saying Wednesday. I must admit, UTech still kind of adapting to this whole online thing. Usually, for now, my classes are usually just scheduled according to the availability of everyone, right? So it's usually always on Mondays. I'm not sure why the lecture was moved to a Wednesday. Who knows? Who knows what happens? But that's why I sent out that email to say, hey, we want to take care of DDM on a Monday, right? So pretty much after today, there is no more DDM until next week, Monday. That's the idea. So you guys get Wednesday, which I know that hopefully some of you are happy about, right? Some of you? Destiny, how you doing? Destiny Wallace.
I'm okay, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Don't be surprised. I normally call people out on random. That's just how I do to make sure that you're awake, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that is the arrangement. It's pretty flexible, so we can talk about it, and you let me know if it works or it doesn't work, right? All right. There's a couple things to introduce you guys to. For computing, there's a team of us. For this time around, it's going to be Mr. Sean John, but you guys won't meet him until maybe next semester, right? There are also a couple studio lectures that might come in and out of computing, right? But in all, I want to show you this this thing here. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, so let me make this full screen. All right, you guys can see everything nice and bold?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is at the front of the movie, you know, where the movie starts, you know, in a world or once upon a time, right? This is the opening of the book. This is where the journey begins. And at the start of every computing module, we normally take a look on these couple slides to kind of gauge where we're going and where we're coming from, right? So in total, there are 6 computing modules throughout the whole of the semester, right? We have nice acronyms for them: DDM, DDA, 3DM, you know what I mean? Because digital design media, I think introduction to digital design media is kind of a mouthful, right? So we just shorten them, right? So we call it DDM. So while you're here in second year, you're going to be dealing with DDM and DDA, right? So digital design media. This is where you get introduced to all things computer having to do with architecture, right? I know that some of us are computer nerds, and some of us may be fans of more natural drawing with hand drawing and sketching. All of that is bundled up in computing. So just because it named computing don't mean that we don't do those things as well. You can kind of think of these modules as a kind of a ladder. Right now you're at stage 1. Or no, kind of a video game. When you plays video games, anybody?
Every day.
All right, cool. Some people every day, right? If you play Candy Crush, it still counts, right? Still video game, even solitaire, right? Most video games have different levels, right? So for us, we have different levels, but the different levels doesn't mean it gets harder. It simply means it gets more exciting. You know what I mean? There is no boss battle for this computing module. So we don't do exams, we do projects. A lot of the projects are split up throughout the semester, throughout the module, right? Personally, I'm not a big fan of homework. I know homework and CSA aren't like the most compatible things. And as a former CSA student myself, I know that studio lets the world go around, right? Without studio, nothing else exists, right? So we have 6 steps. We're at stage 1, which is DDM, digital design media. This is where you get introduced to everything. Next time around, it's going to be digital documentation for architects. We short that and just call it CAD. It has nothing to do with AutoCAD, really. It just, I guess it's just an acronym that we run with, right? In that module, we learn a little bit about drawings, architectural drawings. We get introduced to Revit. We learn about documentation. What does the symbol mean? You guys do this already from first year, right? You have a symbol for levels, elevations. You learn how to title your drawings, all that kind of stuff. We just do it as it relates to the computer. So we learn it in the software, right? Who here use AutoCAD already? Anybody?
Yes, sir. Me, sir.
1 or 2. All right, cool. Right, cool. It's okay to speak in emoji language, right? The emoji tool is right there. You can also speak with voice, or I'll make sure to have up my chat, right? Just to make sure I'm not missing any conversation, which I have been. Yes, morning. Yeah, morning. Levy. Right, so that is stage 2. We deal with drawings and symbols and annotations, that kind of stuff. Stage 3 is 3D modeling. This is where you learn how to model and render, right? So all of those nice architectural renderings that you might see on Pinterest and that kind of stuff, we learn how to do it. We learn how to do animation as well. Pretty exciting stuff. After that, we do building information modeling. That one is where we learn how to use the AEC tools, window tool, door tool, how we use the tools that's built for architects to do building modeling, right? Building information modeling is, let's call it the third revolution in the architectural industry, right? The first one was hand drawing, right? The next one was computer drawings, right? So that was the second kind of revolution. You know, everybody used a computer to do everything. You guys are here in the third, at the beginning of the third revolution, which is building information modeling. That is the new thing that the industry has shifted to, right? And there's an entire module that's dedicated to that, right? So that is BIM. On your way out, when you guys reach 4th year, you're going to be doing Advanced Computing 1, right? This is where we finish learning about software because you'd have spent 4 years learning it already, and we put it to the test, and we do some really crazy visualizations there, graphics, and we learn how to combine different software together. That's why it's advanced visualization. We also do a measured survey where you guys go on a field trip and measure something really awesome. And then on your way through the door is Advanced Computing 2. And this is the epitome of fun and excitement, right? As I say, remember, as it gets higher, everything just gets more exciting. This is where we learn things that are adjacent to architecture, things like film and movies and video games and all these other things surrounding the field of architecture and how it impacts architecture. So we mess around with VR. We talk about the future of architecture, that kind of stuff, and that is in the last stage, right? So that is your journey, right? What do you say, Isaac? You following? You understand? Is Isaac here? He's running to the computer. Oh crap, sir, call my name. Okay, until Isaac finds the computer. Jason! That's Jason Christie.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. You following me so far, Jason? You understanding the journey? So this is your journey that I've outlined in front of you. I'm also aware of what's happening there on the ground. I know that you have Mr. Jameson. By the way, did you? Because I know there was a discrepancy with the timetable, so you guys managed to meet with Mr. Jameson and clear that up? Anybody? Give me an update. Give me a sit rep. Did you guys have your? What was that?
You're referring to Mr. Stephen now. Used to red class relatives.
Right. So you had what is it again? Materials and construction too? Am I correct? You had that before this class? Okay, cool. So, and that is a face-to-face class, correct me if I'm wrong?
So far,
right. So I know this is an online class, so chances are you might be doing this in studio. The internet at UTech, boy, sometime I know how it is, right? What I will say though, if you are in studio, try to get some headset so you can use it, so that we don't get any weird echoing, right? I know it's the first class, but like going forward, because I know how it is, or wherever you might be having this class, totally up to you. All right, so that is the journey that we will be going through. We're starting with DDM first. Between steps 2 and 5, so next semester all the way up to 4th year, you'll be doing something in relation to building information modeling, because that's such a large part of the industry. We introduce this to you, but not all at once. We kind of do it, we introduce it in steps, you know what I mean? So that will be happening during you're going to be starting that next semester. For this one, we're just going to be introduced with all of the new software, right? So I'm going to jump over to talk a little bit about the module here. Here we go. Right. Okay, so the computing modules are pretty much almost all of them are now online. Funny enough, I have been doing, well, I wouldn't say doing it online, but I've included being able to have a online portal for computing long before COVID actually. So when I know you guys are post-COVID, but when COVID hit, we were just like, okay, no problem. We already were kind of trending to online anyway, right? And what we found is that the computing modules seem to thrive more online because a lot of the stuff we do is having to do with software. Most of us are used to YouTube and Netflix and any kind of media streaming. Watching something on your screen is pretty much the norm nowadays. So computing doing that is just no problem. Maybe the only challenge is that I'm now competing with YouTube and Netflix. So essentially I have become a YouTuber just by the nature of it. I didn't know this was a part of the job description, but you know, you never know, right? So most of the modules are fully online. A few of them, for example, the one with the measured survey, that's going to be done partially in person, right? All of the modules we work through a student submission portal, right? Did you guys use that last year when you were submitting your studio? Did you have to go online to submit your studio? Anybody?
Yes, sir. We would have to do that.
Right. So you're probably kind of familiar with it already, right?
Yeah.
Right. It looks something like this. There's this website, and you go over to students, and you guys would have probably gone over to Design Studio, right? And then you would have submitted whatever in Design Studio, right? So, so that is where was I here? Right. So that is, let me just do this. Right. So we collect all our work via class website. I sent out a welcome email. Hopefully most of you got it. So when you go to this welcome email, it introduces you to the website. It looks like this. So computing and then intro to design media. So this is what it looks like, right? Right. That's what it looks like. Let's go back here. So that's what we'll be using to collect all student work, right? So I don't collect work via email, WhatsApp, right? Google Drive, no. Everything is collected via forms, right? And every assignment has a form, and we're going to talk about all that stuff after. That's pretty much how we're going to do it for the rest of your time here at CSA, right? So, you know, by next semester, you know, you're going to know the rope already, and you're going to say, oh yeah, man, you know, submit work via the website, and you're just going to get used to it as you go along. But I know this is your first kind of intro into this world of computing. All right, so a Google account is going to be needed. We're going to take our time to transition over to UTech's email. I believe by now, all of you should have a UTech email, right? Do anybody use it? You guys use the UTech email? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Not really.
Yeah, I know that's not too popular, but we're going to be learning how to do that. But in the meantime, while we figure out to integrate that system, all the forms are going to be Google Forms, and that's something that everybody is familiar with already. So you just submit your work. A camera is mandatory when speaking or presenting, right? But it's not a requirement. I realize that there might be bandwidth limitations and that kind of stuff. What is a requirement though is going to be your profile pictures, right? So especially that we're not going to be using cameras, you must have a profile picture so that we can, you know, we're humans here, we're not machines yet. So we want to kind of have an idea of who we're speaking to. All right, guys. So that's going to be one of our first things that we're going to do. Everybody going to put up them profile picture. Just grab something from your Instagram or something, you know. No cartoon characters, no avatars, no AI generated images, no pets. I mean, if you want to take a picture with your pet, that's fine. But I have to see human beings in the picture. Right, Gabrielle? Gabrielle, you here? She's finding the mute button. Not find it yet? Alright, until you find it. Gianna, understood?
Yes, sir.
Alright, cool. Alright, so lectures and practicals are going to be online via Zoom, as you see in here. Everything you need is on the website, so you just click on the link for the appropriate class. So for example, we're doing session 1 theory, so you click on it and then you jump in the class. Later when we meet again, we do session 2, so you click on that and you jump in the class, right? Pretty straightforward stuff. Yeah, y'all probably know to use Zoom already, even though you guys are post-COVID, but pretty much the world has changed, and at some point or another, you're probably going to do some online meeting, right? Okay, we have class participation, and then we have attendance. There are two different things. Attendance is all the people that I see here in the list. All 31 of you, 30, right? 31 including me. You guys are marked present, right? No need for me to go through and say, Brianna, are you here? Present, right? Carla, are you here? Present. No need for me to do that. Y'all are in Zoom already. Your attendance has been recorded. If I need to see if you are present in the class, I just check the Zoom database, right? However, that we do grade for class participation, and attending the class does not give you automatic class participation, right? So that means that if you just join the meeting and then go off on your own, that does not contribute to your participation. That only tells me that allegedly you are here, right? Right, Gabriel? Gabriel, come back yet? No? No? Morgan? Okay. What about Denzel? Allegedly, Denzel is here?
I'm here, sir. I'm here.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's not allegedly, it's true. All right, cool. All right. So that is attendance. Participation is a little bit more, it requires a little bit more of you. What participation is, I call it a vibes grade. What do I mean by a vibes grade? You come to class and I say, okay, you know what? Let's do something in Photoshop. And if you're here and you did that thing that we were going to do in Photoshop, you get the grade. If you happen to skip class that day, then you miss the grade, right? So we do random class activities throughout the semester. And if you're here for those activities, that counts towards your participation, right? Of course, you have to do the thing and submit the thing that we do for class participation, and that guarantees you a grade towards the class participation. All right, so class participation is different from attendance, right? Two different things. All right, any questions on what we discuss here? Everybody get it?
Yes, sir.
Cool. What about Leon? Does Leon get it? Leon? You hear Leon? All right, cool. Oh, I need to remember to have my message up in case some of you. Yes, Gabriel. Sorry, I did not see your message. So you are indeed here. My bad. My bad. It was behind another window. All right, cool. So, student submission is done via the website. You will be happy to know that all classes are going to be recorded and the recordings are available. So if, for example, something happened and you couldn't attend class, the class recordings are going to be there. The good news for you guys is that I'm also going to be updating the website again. So I'm going to make the classes a little bit easier to access. Right now, the button isn't there, but I'm going to put a button below the class button that says class recordings. And then the great new thing that we've added this year is that I'm going to be posting the summaries for the class. So I get AI summaries of the class meetings so that you guys can see what was discussed in class, and you have the recording, right? So just in case some of you might have a clash with something, maybe you have to take over a module that you did last semester and it clashing with a part of this class. No worries, we've got you. The recording will be there, the summary will be there, so that is there. Of course, you need to actually come to class to the class participation. So just a reminder, right? But this is computing, so we're going to use up the technology. All right. All right, Leanne, I see you there. I see your answer. All right. So actually, I need to update this because we're no longer using AnyDesk. Actually, we are going to be using. Hold on a second. We're going to be using Rust Desk. Let me find a logo here. Rust Desk. Yeah, AnyDesk not free anymore. So you know how it is. They give you something free, and then as soon as everybody start use it, them start charging money. So we're going to be using Rust Desk. All right, so you might be saying, what is this? So as this is a computing module, you guys will be having computer problems, no doubt about it. There's always some laptop that is going to blow up, explode. There's some screen that's going to be cracked, and there's some data that is going to be lost, right? I'm not goat mouthing you guys, but it happens. We're dealing with, we only do work on computers here. So Rust Desk is a remote access application, meaning that somebody can look on your computer screen and help you with computer problems. I recommend this, not for me, like I won't be helping you with your problems, but I normally recommend the computer lab, lab techs upstairs. And also I have a good friend that has been with me for many years, and I asked him a favor to say, hey, I teach in a class, some students, if they're experiencing simple computer matters, see if I can help them out. They need to access the software for whatever reason. You can't use the lab. You need to get access to a particular program. You call my technician brethren. He's not going to charge you for basic stuff, like if, I don't know, your Adobe not working and you need to reinstall it or something like that. But of course, if you, I don't know, you need to like fix your computer, replace a screen or something, he's probably going to charge if you can't do it yourself, or find another technician somewhere. My point is that I'm just pointing you in a direction where you can get technical support, because I don't want it to affect our schoolwork. And me as a lecturer, I can't fix your computer for you. So I just find people who willing to work with you. So that is the lab tech upstairs. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Anybody here use the lab upstairs to do anything, any work, or you use your own computer? Who uses the lab? Right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So, right. Is Ashton still up there? He's still there sometimes? Or is Kevin?
No. None of them are here right now.
No, not
I'm
here,
really
no,
sure.
but like, you see them about the place, right?
Yes, sir. Sometimes.
Sometimes, exactly. So that's why I give you two options. And sometimes they might not have the time, like it's not a part of their job description to help you with your computer problems, by the way, guys. So just a heads up. But you can ask them, maybe they can help you out. I'm going to give you the number for Neville Campbell. He's going to be with you for the rest of CSA pretty much. Or any other CSA student probably know him, maybe. You just send him a WhatsApp and see if he can help. Him can't always help, but at least you know where to go. And if you have your own person, that's fine. Try and find somebody you can call on if you meet up on any computer problems, because that directly affects your grade. If you have nothing to do the work on, can't help you. You understand? So I recommend Rust Desk. as a way, for example, you call somebody and they say, hey, my thing not opening, you know? Instead of you tell you just there, all right, what you see on the screen, and you say, I see a blue button, and you just say, okay, let's use Rust Desk. And you'll be able to connect and the person can see your screen and whatever. So that is there. Just like how you have a chalkboard in real life, we use a digital whiteboard. It's called Miro. Anybody ever use Miro here? Give me a thumbs up if you ever use Miro. No? First, most people hear it for the first time. Cool. All right, so we're going to be using Miro pretty much for the rest of computing. And where you find that, if you go on the website here, you notice you see this class whiteboard link right here. And when you click on it, it takes you to our chalkboard, pretty much our chalkboard, right? So, hold on a minute here. All right. Right. So this is what the chalkboard looks like. Basically, what it has is all the work that we'll be going through. Some things are hidden, some things are visible. Little bit about the module. Basically, this is where we do all our activities that requires interaction between everybody. It's just like a real whiteboard that you have in front of your class, but instead of me using markers, I'm using, online tools. So that is what we're going to use. All right, any questions on what we discussed so far with these three things? All right. Let me try to get these names right. Is it Kalia Powell? Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. All right, so you understand what we talk about here? About the website, technical support, and whiteboard. All right.
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, cool. Okay, we can, let me see what else we have here. So now, I will just throw this in there. This is not like how you're at the beginning of your computing journey. We're going to talk a little bit about equipment. We're going to talk about computer. We're going to talk about video cards and computer parts and processors and all that stuff. Before we dive into the geeky stuff, it's just a recommendation for how you guys can set up for the computing classes. Sometimes you'll be at home, sometimes you'll be in the studio. The recommendation is that you have two screens at all times, right? Of course, if you have two computer screens, that's great. Some of you might not have that. Some of you might be home. See if you can take over the TV and you use the TV as your second screen. For those of you who may be at school, you might have a cell phone or have a tablet of some sort. You can use a tablet as your Zoom screen and then you work on your computer screen, right? So I just want to get you prepared for this. In all of these scenarios, you need a headset, guys. All right, so please try and get a headset. We're going to be watching movies and listening to stuff with audio. If you're in the studio, you're going to multiply and it can be very confusing without a headset. So try and get a headset. But yeah, that's just a reminder of a good setup for the rest of this module. Anything else would maybe be about software. We can talk about that in a little bit. That is pretty much it for that. What time is it? It's now minutes to 1, right? And we go until 2. Okay, good. So we have enough time. All right, let me talk a little bit about the numbers now. About DDM. What I've just given you is an overview of all the computing modules. That I will call it your computing journey. So that's what I've just kind of given you. You saw where it is here. We talk about that we're going to use online, we're going to use the class websites, we're going to use the digital whiteboard, we're going to be using Zoom and all that kind of stuff. And you will have 6 different steps to go through. This is the first of 6, right? Every semester you'll do a computing module. Some of them might be me, some of them might not be me. Yeah, if you have any questions, okay, let's talk about contact. Pretty much, I know that WhatsApp is the dominant way to communicate. So, for communication, you can have my email address. So my official email address is, and I'll put that for everybody. So everybody. Where's everybody? A, B, C, D, E. Okay, right. So it's Brian.Williams at utech.edu.jm. All right, so that's in the chat. Additionally, I have a phone dedicated to this class, so you can get me on WhatsApp, not straight call. WhatsApp 876-869-9294. Right? So those are the 2 ways you can get me. I pretty much will answer your questions whenever I can. If I don't answer at the same time, then it's probably 3 a.m. in the morning and I'm sleeping and you guys are working on studio, right? So I'll just get to it as quick as I can. All right. So those are the 2 ways that you can contact me. So Isaac, that answers your question, right? All right. Okay. All right. We're going to keep it moving. We are going to keep it moving. Let me see what we can go through first. All right. I want to talk. So we started from wide. We spoke about all of the computing modules. And then we're going to kind of zoom into this particular module. So we're going to talk about a little bit about the website, right? This is something that we're going to be using throughout the rest of the module. So I just want to introduce this to you really quickly. All right, you guys can see my screen and everything nicely. Oh, let me make it bigger. My bad. Right. You guys can see it clearly now? Give me a thumbs up, confirm, somebody. Cool. Thanks, Jana. All right. So what we have at the top is a timeline, right? This is going to be super important. I don't put deadlines on handouts, right? Deadlines are all the status updates, right? So at the top here, we have a timeline, and all you do, you just kind of scroll across using the mouse, left click on scroll, or if you're using a touch device, you just kind of switch it from left to right. Each of these are the different things we're doing for the semester. So for example, if I click one of this, today is the 8th and we're doing a lecture. So I click on this lecture. We're talking about practical lecture. Oh, actually, talk about reschedule and Zoom chat and that kind of stuff. The university actually got pushed back 1 week because of the elections. So I'm going to update this timeline because today is our first class, but obviously we're having it a week after the first. So, and that's the exact point of this timeline. It updates. That's why you see this big yellow text here, right? If something pop up, if there is some kind of delay or some kind of natural disaster that caused the delay of some assignment, the timeline will be updated. So if anybody asks me, sir, when this thing due again, I'm just going to say check the timeline, right? And then you just go to the website, check the timeline, and that's it, right? The timeline will not be on the handout, all right? So for example, I can click on exercise 1 and it say, okay, exercise 1, Photoshop, enhancing environment and entourage. It's worth 2% and it's going to be on September 15. Yeah, maybe that will change because, as I say, 1 week delay, but everything you need can be found here. We plan out the whole semester already, so everything is already planned out and everything. And the idea is that we want to finish with DDM at least by week 10 or 11. There are 13 weeks in the semester. Usually the last 2 weeks, everybody disappears. Why everybody disappears, Ian? Why?
I'm not sure, sir.
You're not sure? Why all the lecturers say, oh, I don't see nobody at class when it reach week 11 and week 12?
Sir, school done this, sir.
Well, not technically. Technically, you have 13 weeks for classes and then 1 study week. But I never forget our math teacher when I was in CSA was here confused and saying, where are the students? This was like probably week 11 or so. I don't understand. How can you just not come to class? And, you know, that's a different department. Clearly, I haven't heard about how design studio reshapes the world, right? So usually around that time, people start to disappear because the studio pressure start reach, right? Y'all preparing for final crit, all that kind of stuff. The course is all, I know that a lot of waiting is on design studio because you need to pass it in order to progress, right? What we want to do with computing is that we don't want to get in the way of the design studio rush. So we try to schedule this thing so that we can wrap up at like week 10, 11. You're not having to do some activity in class or anything. By that time, you're on your own. You're working on your project in your own time slot, right? So, you know, not that I support you guys disappearing near the end of the semester, but it happens, right? So, all right, so that's the timeline at the top of the website, right? You just scroll across. I think you can even zoom in too and zoom out, right? You can even do that stuff. Zoom out to see everything, but that's the timeline. Some things have a bar. So for example, if I click on this week 7 studio-based assignment where it's in design architecture presentation sheets and portfolio booklet, and you can see that goes where's the date? Oh, right, you can see that the date is from October 13 to October 27. So if you ever want to know if when something is due, you see the date right there, October 27. All right. I guess everybody kind of figured out this part of the website because you're all here and you clicked on the link to come to the class. So that's what this section is for. We talked about the mirror board already. Down here is where we have our assignments, right? We have student home takes you to the home page. So this is where you see all the computing modules. So let's go back to DDM. The syllabus is our actual syllabus that we go by. So this, for those of you that may be transferring from somewhere else or planning to transfer to somewhere, this is like your legal document that say these are the things that you will be learning in this module. All right. That's laid out for you here. And we're going to be discussing it a little better, but we're not going to go through. We're not going to use this format. Let me go back here. Here is where you go to check your grades. And if you click on it, it will take you to this sheet that is coming up here, right? So Yeah. Mic check. Can you hear me all right, guys? This
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
cool,
Yes, sir.
cool. Yeah, this Bluetooth thing, when it not detecting any sound, it turn off. All right. So right. So I was saying that this is your grade sheet. It's listed by ID number. And the good thing is that you can see the criteria for everything broken down. So if you ever want to know, for example, for exercise 1, how am I grading exercise 1? You look here, you can say, oh, sky replacement, neatness, reflection and blur, cutout and like these are the individual criteria for grading. So you can know if you did well in one thing and if you need to work on another thing. Everything is here in the open. So for example, let me go all the way to like the final project. You can know exactly how you will be graded. You can know that there's going to be 4% towards the accuracy, 4% towards the detail. You can know exactly how you're going to be graded. Everything is broken down there. So if you ever wonder why I get so much or why I get so little, you can use the grade sheet here. All right. So this is here. So that is where you go to when you go to the check grades. All right. And of course, these are our assessments, right? So we have some exercises that we're going to go through. We have an assignment and some stuff like that. Most of these are stuff that we do in class. So you just need to like show up for class. As I said, I'm not a big homework fan. So even though like, I mean, obviously I have to give you an assignment, but technically we only have 2 assignments. Everything else we kind of do during class. All right. That is the idea. If I scroll on a little bit more, you can see here, we can see the learning path. This is the same thing as what's in the handout, like Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, and so forth. Here's the important part. This is our timeline. Now, this is a projected timeline. We use the same thing every year. This is what we're aiming towards. Me as a lecturer, you as a student, this is our guiding light. So for example, we want to be done with all the exercises by week 6. We want to be done with the studio-based project by week 8. Like, this is our targets that we need to meet, because if we fall back on one, it's going to throw everything off, right? So this gives you an idea about when what should happen. Now, this is not dynamically updated. This is only giving you a glance, right? So if some great catastrophe happens, hopefully it doesn't, and something get pushed down all 3-4 weeks, this will not show it. This is only here as a standard. This is what happens every year, or what we should aim towards in order to be done in time. All right, guys. All right. If I scroll on a little more, students registered for class site. Now, this has nothing to do with your UTech registration. This is just me, just like what at the beginning of class, somebody might pass around a paper and ask you to write your name and that stuff. This is me just making sure that I have your contact information. This also tells me this people that are accessing the class website. So for example, if you click on the grades thing and you're not seeing your grades, it's probably because you haven't registered for the class site. And to register for the class site, you click this register for class button right here. Some of you have already done this, that's fine. You only need to do it once. And every semester we're going to do this. Even though I have your information from DDM, when you come back next semester for 3D for DDA, I'm going to ask you to do the same thing again, because emails and numbers change and whatever. So you just click on this and you're going to choose the module you're doing and put your name and put a contact number, and choose your academic year, right? And that's it, right? and then your name will appear. Your name will appear on this list. That means that you are registered to access this site, right? Class participation, I told you guys about this already. This just tracks whether you participated or not. So if I gave you an activity now, I'd say, hey guys, this counts towards your class participation, and you participated, you would see activity 1 and the ID number, and yes, you did participate, or no, you did not participate. If there's any discrepancy with this, just let me know. Just tell me, oh, sir, you have me as not participating, but I did. Here's the evidence. And I might say, oh, okay. Or I might say, no, you did it the day after. Class participation only counts when you do it during class. It's not a homework. All right? All right. I know we're absorbing a lot, but are we following? Khalifa, you following? Is Khalifa following?
Sir, yes, I'm following.
Ah, good. You're there, Khalifa. You're there. Okay, all right. So if we scroll down some more, these are the different activities. Some of them are hidden, some of them are visible, because as I said, it's random. You will just come to, it's like a pop quiz, but it's not a quiz. Like, I'm not going to ask you like technical questions. It's going to be more of a pop activity. You come and I say, hey, let's go outside and take some photos with your phone. And that's the activity. You know, so you always have to be ready, right? For these activities. They will just pop up. So this is the class site. That's it. That's all it does. Oh, and the last thing is the class recordings. So let me see if this thing is updated. No, not yet. Okay. When you come to the other session, it will be updated, but you're going to see a little button below here that you click it to access the class recording and also the class summary. So you will get a listing of what was discussed in class and all of those things, all nicely laid out for you on a platter, right? That's how we do it here in computing, right? Cutting edge things we deal with. I think I've introduced everything. Are there any questions about the website? Anybody?
No, sir. Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. All right. Cool. All right. I think it's time to talk about the numbers. So for today's class, what we're going to do for this session, so we want to have the class in 2 sessions. In the morning time, we're going to have like more of a lecture. Officially, every student is supposed to be given 4 hours of contact time, right? On your timetable, it says a 1-hour lecture and a 3-hour practical. That is your legal right of a student, right? I must give you that. What I find is that 1 hour, like, it hardly works because, you know, some people come in and then we get, like today, we got started at like 10 minutes after. By the time we get in it and ask you 2 questions, time done, don't make any sense. So how we split it up is that we have it in 2 sessions. So when you come in the morning, we do a 2-hour, and then in the afternoon, we do a working session, a 2-hour. Working session means that you're in the software, clicking and zooming in, zooming out. You're using Photoshop, you're using InDesign, you're doing stuff. The morning session is more like we're talking, I introduce the assignment to you, I show you some examples. And for the working session, I'm actually working alongside you, right? So it's not a homework. You actually work in the class, submit the thing at the end of the class, and you're going home. And there's no assignment for you to take home, right? And even for our assignments, this is what I usually do. I spend a little time to kind of start you off with the assignment in class. So if you are following in class, you have nothing to worry about. Like this should be like all of my modules should be like the easiest thing to pass. No lie, right? So that is the sequence of how we'll do it. So the other session, I'm going to put the time on this button here, which is what we want to clarify. Let me bring up back my digital whiteboard here, right? This is the mirror board. This is what I have here, if you can see it okay. Oh, let me put, there was something else here. You guys have, correct me if I'm wrong, this is what your timetable show. And then this is a lecture. Right. Is this what it is? This is something like what your timetable show. So basically, your timetable shows, it shows you have a lecture. Some of you have a session. Some of you have a session in the morning, midday, and at night. This is what I believe it is on your timetable. So either you have one of this and one of this, or one of this and one of this, and so forth. What we are doing, we're compressing everything, and we just get one of this and one of this, and then you're done for the week. You don't have to come on Wednesday for you don't have to come on Wednesday for class, right? Everybody following me so far? Hopefully I don't leave anybody behind. And yeah, all right. So we'll come back here at 6 o'clock, and then that will be the working session. The working session is important. You need to have your device. You need to have your software ready. You don't need to have it for today, so don't worry about it. We need to have it for next week, right? This class we're going to do something else because it's the first class. But that's how it's going to be. The working session is where you need your computer. So if you're going to be at school and you want to do the working session at school, I believe you have building services that finishes at 5, and I think this is with Mr. Mills, right? Am I correct with today? Right. Zaire, what's up?
Sir, which software are you talking about, sir?
I'm going to get into that, but Photoshop, Illustrator, SketchUp, I'm going to bring it up in a little later. We're just you know, tidying up the schedule. So if you're going to be at school, carry your computer, right? Make sure you have your thing ready if you plan to do that session at school, or if you want to do it from a different location, just make sure you have your things ready. We are going to be using Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, SketchUp. Yeah, those are our main programs. Basically, all the Adobe programs. And remember, you can reach out to Neville Campbell. Let me give you the number. Neville PBL. Neville Campbell. He's the technician. Just reach out to Neville, man. Kalia, he will sort you out. And what's his number again? I keep forgetting. Hold on a second. One 4 2 4 7 8 7 6. Right. If you don't have the software already, reach out to Neville and we'll help you out. All right. I post it in the chat. Call me on WhatsApp. Not straight. All right. So yeah, that deals with the schedule. And I think that is it, right? Talking about the schedule. All right, good. Okay. All right. Is it time to talk about the numbers now? Let's talk about the numbers. All right. You had a question, Ashanti?
We should probably straight it. You got this small WhatsApp.
Say again?
I'll text it.
Okay, yeah, you can text it. Yeah. Right. So just message Neville if you need to ask him about the programs or anything. You don't need it for this week, you need it for next week. Right? And DDM, and for DDM, we're all about the schedule. So we keep on schedule because if yes, that's what I said. Message him on WhatsApp. You can call him on WhatsApp too, but he's a WhatsApp messaging guy. Him go around and fix computers, so sometimes him can't answer him phone, just message him. Right. So DDM, we try to keep on schedule because if I keep you on schedule, we get to finish. You get your time to work on your design studio final project. Everybody wins. All right. So make sure you have your thing them sort out for your programs, so that we can keep it moving and your computer all right and thing. All right. Okay. So what is digital design media? Right. Digital design media is plans, but it's also colored plans, but it's also 3D, and it's also renderings, it's images, it's graphic design, it is photomontaging, it is diagrams, it is presentation, it is everything. Digital design media is everything that is digital. It's not only graphic design, but it includes graphic design. It's not only technical, but it includes technical. This is a design drawing. It has dimensions. It's very technical. Like this is not a colored artwork kind of drawing, but it is still a part of digital design media. So it is simply the representation of graphics and knowing how to represent graphics, how to manipulate graphics, knowing about the software. It is also knowing about design as well. For example, even if you look on a brochure like this, it is, this is design. This is digital design. Am I using the right colors? What about the font? How is it laid out? But then it is also 3D as well. What about the rendering? What about the lighting? So digital design media kind of spans across all of these things. And it can look a little bit overwhelming. And this is the point of this course. I'm going to try and break it down into different categories, right? We're going to deal with 2D related stuff, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and then we're going to touch a little bit on the 3D SketchUp, right? So all of these things are digital design media. A lot of these, as a matter of fact, all of these are projects that I have worked on. That's one of the benefits of me teaching this course, and this is why I also love to teach this course, because a lot of examples that I showed you are literally projects that I've worked on, projects that I've been involved in. You guys might have seen the splash video at the beginning of the module. This is what I guess do for a living. I teach this stuff and then I do this stuff, right? That's basically what I do. Let me try and get the website up here. Here we go. Right. So I do this stuff and I teach it. That video that you were watching earlier is a part of my demo reel. A demo reel is just like a quick video synopsis of all the things that you do. I particularly do a lot of work in architectural visualizations, like all of this stuff and all these videos and things like that are things that I've worked on, projects I've worked on. Most of this stuff is presentation related because I do a lot of work like in like marketing and that kind of stuff. But let me go back here. But also I do the technical part as well. So for example, when we're talking about bringing a design from the early phases, doing construction drawings, design drawings, doing the renderings for it, and also the communication of the design as well. Okay, this comes up. So we're talking about things that you learn in design studio, floor plans, elevations, and that is done through different software. In this case here, you can see where we talk about I'm using 3ds Max, Unreal Engine, generating images, but also communicating details, right? So for example, things like knowing the amount of units, areas, square footage, that kind of thing. All of this stuff is a part of digital design, whether it is technical or visual, right? And this kind of stuff is the stuff that I do. I look forward to teaching it because guess what? I learn a lot from you guys as well. Every time I teach this stuff, somebody does something interesting and I'm like, I didn't know that, right? So we kind of learn from each other, right? So this is kind of a synopsis of what digital design is. It's like all encompassing everything that is digital. Which one of these images are real? Anybody?
They're going to repeat that, sir?
Which one of these images are real and which one is a computer generated?
The one on the right.
The one on the right.
Right. But the one on the left, it can pass as believable, don't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. And this is what is also a part of digital design. And we're going to learn a little bit about how to do this. This is a 3D montage. A little bit of photoshopping, but it involves a little bit of 3D as well. Where if you want to show how something will feel, right? So not just the technical square footage and heights, but how something will feel. You have to do a little bit of photoshopping, massage the image a little bit, so that when somebody sees it, they can say, of course you could show them a drawing, but this communicates something different than a technical drawing, right? So you are gonna, in architecture, you're learning both. You're learning what is this element made out of? How is it constructed? But on the other side, you're also learning, okay, how can I communicate this idea of what this new front elevation would look like in a way that they can feel, the client can feel what it would look like, right? So this is a photo montage. This is a site plan. You guys do site plans all the time. You tend to color it. So what does the lines mean on this site plan? Who can tell me?
Sorry,
That what?
Repeat what you said.
These lines that you're seeing here on this site plan, what does it mean?
Elevation, sir, of the terrain.
Exactly. So little things like that, being able to graphically communicate something, so you can say, oh, it's on a slope, Then there is also the layout. All of this is you're communicating an idea here. You have a title here. You have a 3D image, but then you also have a site plan with all the areas labeled. Like you're communicating a lot of different things in this image. how do you lay them out in a way that you can read it and it's not confusing? This is a part of what digital design is as well. The thing is, digital design doesn't stand on its own. It requires you to have prior knowledge of design. And everybody here in this class is a designer. You do with Miss Shabaka art. You learn about shadows and shades and tone, right? Do you guys still do the pointillism assignment? Do you still do that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right, right. All of that contributes to knowing how to design, and that kind of acts as the foundation to what we do in DDM. In a way, I show you the buttons to press and some guiding things, but learning how to come up with a theme and to let everything work together, that is something that you kind of develop as you grow, right? So I will show you the buttons to press, but a lot still depends on you. All right. Yeah. So even when they have the their presentation, I remember this was I think I worked on this when I first started to work when I left CSA, and I had to go around to take some photographs of projects for where I was working at the time. This was Fifth and Yap Architects, right? Fifth and Yap, he works on a lot of the shopping centers. He did Sovereign down the road, Sovereign Mall, and we had to print these on posters. So this is a combination of plans, photographs, and text. Like, how do you arrange the text so that when it's pinned up, people can see what something looks like, but they can also read about it and they don't get confused in the text and that kind of stuff. All that stuff is digital design. You know, where do I put the title for this? Should I put the image at the bottom? You know, how do I color the floor plans? What programs do I use to color the floor plans? Like, all of these things are things that we're going to be looking at. The idea is that you guys will be able to do all this stuff by the end of the semester, right? Right. We're going to also be looking on hybrid, meaning combining Sketch. Anybody here uses Procreate? Any Procreate fans in the house? Anybody that draw on them tablet or digital device?
I use it there.
Right. Or even if you draw by hand, we're going to learn a little bit of how can we combine hand drawings with digital? How can we use Photoshop to enhance a sketch that I did? You know what I mean? Some of these examples are using that, right? So it's not all about the computer. Like, some people believe that, you know, once we're doing computing, you know, we're only doing photoshopping and taking people's heads and swapping them bodies. And no, we're learning how to combine it to communicate architecture better, right? Digital design also includes 3D animation as well. We're going to be doing this in 3D modeling, so we're not going to be doing an animation in this module. This is going to be step 3 when we were showing you that steps thing, right? So, but for example, this is one that was done. This was done with Unreal Engine, right? And it was used to communicate what these homes are like, right? Worked on this some time ago, right? All right, so let's look on the course structure. How are we doing on time? All right, we're kind of okay. All right, so we're going to be doing this is going to be split across 4 different units. We're going to learn a little bit of what digital design is. We're going to be dealing with 2D tools, then we're going to go over to 3D tools, and then we'll learn how to combine all of those tools together, right? So we're going to be understanding the tool. This is what we're going to be doing today, actually. We're going to understand a little bit more of the tools that we use. The main tool that we use in DDM is what? What, Carla? What's our hammer and nail? No, I should say hammer and nail. What is our hammer and screwdriver that we use in DDM?
The computer.
The computer.
The computer.
Exactly. And we're going to be learning a little bit about it. We're going to nerd out a little bit because you all need to understand the very basics. When you're going for your driver's license, you still have to do the test where you know a little bit where to pour the oil in the car. You don't have to be a mechanic, but you need to know where to put the oil, or at least where to put the gas, right? So we're going to be learning a little bit of that first today. And then we're going to move on to the 2D tools. So how we're going to do this? We're going to do 2 exercises per tool. We're going to do 2 exercises in Photoshop, 2 exercises in Illustrator, and we're going to do one in InDesign, and then another exercise in SketchUp. And then we'll combine them together. That's basically going to be the flow of everything. So, and in the final step now, we're going to have a final project where we just kind of combine it already. And we're going to combine it together, and you guys are going to be on your own in order to do that final project, right? Because you would have already learned most of the tools. So this is what the numbers look like, guys. So we have 5 exercises. Remember, we do this in class. So like how we're in class now, we would be working in Photoshop. When you leave class, you would be done. So these are not assignments. These are just things we do in class. Now, the actual assignment that you guys are going to get is worth 25%, right? There's another activity we're going to do in class. We're going to learn about how do we lay out sheets. Did you guys print for your final semester, or do you only draw in first year? Am I right? You don't print anything.
No, sir, we just draw.
Right. But I guess you kind of figure out from looking at other studio presentations that pretty much here on out, you're going to be dealing with digital stuff. You're going to print. You're probably going to combine it with drawings, but a lot of what you do is going to be about sheets and layout and printing. So we're going to spend a little time and explore laying out a sheet and how we do that kind of stuff, right? So that's going to be what we call the portfolio assignment, right? What we call the portfolio assessment. It's not an assignment that you can go home and do. It's like activity. It's a bunch of stuff that we do in class. All right. I told you about the class participation already. So, all right. And then we have the final project. The final project and the module assignment will be the main 2 assignments that you do, meaning that you carry home and do. But everything else, we're just going to do them in class. So if you follow along, you get your grade, like easy peasy. Any questions on this? Okay. All right. During the classes, I've been doing this for a number of years, so I have also made a lot of videos. Like when I used to teach in person, we used to come to class and watch videos that I pre-made. So classes are going to be a hybrid of me talking like this and watching at the same time. We're gonna have some movies to watch and all of that. It's gonna be a very like media oriented classes, you know. That's gonna be the gist of it. All right. So here is the technician number. I put it in the chat already, so yeah. And I gave you guys the website already. So yeah. All right. So this is the overview of the module. All right. What do you think, Ian? Is Ian here?
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You feeling excited or worried?
Neither.
You say he does level. He does mellow. You're
I'm
like,
just-
okay, man. You just like, whatever. I'll just get through it.
Yeah.
Right? All right, I follow you. What about Angie? How you feeling? Is Angie here? Did I pronounce that right? Hopefully. Angie trying to find the unmute button. Or somebody calling him. Say, Angie, lecturer asks for you. What happened? All right. What about Rhyme? You hear Rhyme?
Yes, sir. I'm still here.
Yeah, man. Excited or worried?
Just like Ian. A little bit more confused, I guess.
All right. Well, guess what? As we go through the motion, hopefully, I know that I threw a lot of information at you guys. As I said, this is the beginning of your computing journey. A lot of these things are new, you know, online class and class participation and all this stuff. I know it's new, but you know, after a while, you're going to get used to it, you know, and then you come back next semester, you're going to be like, yeah, okay, yeah. You know, it's pretty much going to be the same. It's just because it's the first step. You know what I mean? Right. At the end of a module, I usually do what's it called? A poll, and I will ask students. Hold on, where is this thing here? Is it over here? Oh yeah. Hold on. I think it's over here. Yeah. I will ask students, hey, what do you think of DDM? Like, is it difficult? Is it a hard course? Well, I don't want to make up things here, so give me a little bit. Let me try. Where did I put this thing? There it is. DDM. Here we go. Yeah, DDM. Right. Responses. Right. Yeah, so I asked them, for example, what are 2 words you can use to describe the module, right? Where's my whiteboard here? Yeah. Let me post it up top here. Yeah, see me here? Put it up top here. Right, so hey, this is not me. This is me asking people. I didn't hold a knife to their throats. How much people did do this? I need to get more people to do the assessments though. This year I'm going to do it earlier. But most people say it's challenging all the way up to excited. Who knows, right? I also asked, what about it being online? 90% that, yep, online is the way to go. I have the class recordings. Now, you guys have the benefit of the class summary, which that didn't exist before. So if there's something you didn't get during class, you can always get it, right? Let me see, what else can I say here? Most people rely greatly on the class recordings, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if anything, guys, I would say don't worry about it. It's going to be a good class. If you ever wanted to learn about Photoshop and those things, this is where we do that. All right. But that is pretty much it for the class overview. I'm going to see you again in another couple of hours. When I see you, we're going to talk a little bit about the tools for computing. So you guys, a lot of people make up their mind whether they want to buy a computer. Now that they're starting their computing journey, some persons, it's maybe over the Christmas. What do you want for Christmas? I want a computer from CSA. You guys should understand what the different components do, what kind of computer you probably want to get, things like that. We're going to talk a little bit about that when we meet again in another couple of hours. All right. But that is it for the overview, guys. Any questions? I'm sure they will come. The questions will pop up. If you can't think of any now, just ask me again later. All right, guys. So that is it for your class intro. I will see you again at 6. So 6 p.m. guys. And then that's it. We're done with DDM for the week. And then you will not come to any DDM classes on Wednesday. Right?
Sir,
Go ahead.
sir,
Yeah. I'm hearing you.
is it 6 p.m. or 7 p.m.? In the email that you sent, you said 7 to 8.
No, it's 6 to 8. It's 2 hours. I said 7
Oh,
to
it's
8.
6 to 8.
Yeah. It's 2 hours. My bad. Yeah. That must have been a typo. Thank you for telling me that. Right. So it's 6 to 8. And that is, as I said, that's the working session. We're not going to be doing any work this time. You're going to prepare and get your computers and stuff ready. And next week, we hit the ball running. All right? All right, guys. So I'll see you again later at 6. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Take it easy.